10 Hybrid Animals. Before we proceed to our top 10 list, let's define first what a hybrid animal is. What is a hybrid animal? According to definitions, species are collections of related people that can interbreed or exchange genes. A hybrid animal, on the other hand, develops when parents from two distinct species are able to have children. Although there are a few exceptions, the hybrid offspring of two distinct species are normally sterile and so unable to reproduce. It is feasible to produce a breeding line of hybridized animals that are genuinely viable with scientific intervention and certain breeding methods, such as artificial insemination. 10. Liger. Some people think that ligers are made-up beasts, but they are actually very genuine, very uncommon hybrid species that can only be discovered in zoos. Ligers are offspring of a lion, Panthera leo, father, and a female tiger, Panthera tigris, mother. This magnificent hybrid animal has physical attributes from both parents and probably possesses traits shared by both lions and tigers in terms of temperament. Due to the improbability of a female tiger mating with a male lion, lions are one of the most unusual creatures in the world. Ligers are sometimes mistaken with tigans, which are hybrids created when a female lion mates with a male tiger and are similarly absent from the wild because of the two species' dissimilar social structures. As majestic as it is grand, the liger is the biggest cat in the world, with the largest extant liger living at Myrtle Beach Safari in South Carolina. According to the Guinness Book of World Records, Hercules is the largest member of his species, and the living cat world, weighing 922 pounds and 8 feet long. 9. Tigan. The offspring of a male tiger and a lioness are known as tigans. One of the primary distinctions between ligers and tigans is that tigans do not grow as large as ligers because lionesses contain a gene that inhibits development. They can make tiger growls and lion roars. Tigans are frequently smaller than their parents in addition to being smaller than ligers. They exhibit characteristics that are a cross between lion and tiger, and they particularly like swimming and interacting with people. Tigans, like ligers, have light golden fur that may have subtle patches or stripes. They have a very short mane that resembles a neck ruff. Many of these tigans have genetic problems and die at an unnaturally young age since they are not a naturally occurring race. Because of this, experts believe it is reasonable to conclude that lions and tigers are unquestionably two distinct species that, if given the opportunity, would not breed in the wild. As a result, just one has so far been discovered in its native habitat. And that was in India. Otherwise, they are often found in zoos. 8. Jag lion. When a male jaguar mates with a female lion, the result is a jag lion. It has the dark background color of a lion, complemented by brown rosettes reminiscent of a jaguar's, along with a powerful build. 2 jag lions were born on April 9, 2006, at the Bear Creek Wildlife Sanctuary, near Barrie, Canada. As with the other hybrids, these are also carnivores, so they want to like meat. They have very keen eyesight, that's why they like to hunt at night. Unfortunately, their color is also dark. That's why their prey cannot see them properly. It can eat anything like mice, turtles, hares, birds, lizards, and sometimes they eat wild hogs. It is a naturally good hunter. They can easily capture their prey by jumping on them, and they usually bite on the neck of their prey. Therefore, it wants to eat the medium-sized herbivores, mainly medium-sized buffaloes, deers and zebras. 7. Leopon. Only ever created in captivity, the leopon is a highly uncommon cross between a male leopard and a lioness. The leopon is visually fascinating, like a legendary creature with a lion's head and a leopard's body. In 1910, a leopon was bred in Kolhapur, India, according to records. Walter Samuel Millard, the Bombay Natural History Society's secretary, delivered Reginald Innes Pocock its skin. It resembled a hybrid between a big leopard and a lioness. There were 2 cubs born. One of them passed away at the age of 2.5 months, and the other was still alive in 1912 when Pocock wrote about it. It was marked like a leopard, according to Pocock, but the spots on its flanks were smaller and more closely spaced than those of an Indian leopard and were brown and fading, like the markings of a young lion. The head, spine, belly, and legs all have prominent, black dots on them. The tail had longer hairs at the tip and was speckled on top and striped below. The ears were fawn in color with a wide black bar. But they lacked the white patch characteristic of leopards. The underbelly had a filthy white color. Pocock claimed that the Chicago-bred Lajagulep, also known as a Congolese spotted lion, was the closest thing he had ever seen to this kind of hybrid. Leopards are bigger than leopards and have characteristics of both lionesses and leopards, according to data from Japanese cats. They have tufted tails and brown markings as opposed to black. Like leopards, they appear to adore the water and will climb like them. Leopard males may have 20 or less scant manes. 6. Savannah cat, a domestic cat and a serval, a medium-sized African wild cat, are the parents of Savannah cats. These gorgeous hybrid cats are sometimes compared to dogs and are typically more sociable than domestic cats. The Savannah cat is content to walk on leashes, likes playing fetch, and has no fear of water. They can leap 3 meters straight up off the ground, preserving their serval ancestry. The tall, lean frame of the Savannah makes them look larger than they actually are. Size varies significantly by sex and generation, with F1 hybrid male cats often being the biggest. Due to the larger genetic effect of the African serval ancestor, the F1 and F2 generations are often the biggest. Similar to other hybrid cats like the Chazi and Bengal cat, the majority of first-generation cats will exhibit many of the exotic characteristics of the serval. However, these characteristics frequently diminish in later generations. Savannah males are often bigger than females. 5. Grolar bear, from polar bear brown bear. These remarkable hybrid apex predators, also known as polar grizz, polizzle, pizzly bear, grizzler, or nanulacan, are a cross between grizzly bears and polar bears. They are relatively rare in that they are more commonly observed in the wild than in zoos. By crossing grizzly bears and polar bears, the Grolar bear was developed as a hybrid species of bear. Geographically speaking, the ranges of grizzly bears and polar bears are beginning to overlap as a result of alterations in the climate worldwide and the melting of the ice on the polar caps. Grizzly bears and polar bears frequently come into contact nowadays on the tundra and sea borders in Alaska and the northern sections of Canada. Two species that encounter one another during the breeding season interbreed, giving rise to hybrids known as Grolar bears or Pizzly bears. Grolar bears were first spotted in the wild in 2006. There may have been more Grolar bear births since then, but only 3 have been confirmed scientifically, through DNA. 4. Zebroid, a hybrid zebra with any other horse is referred to as a zebroid. The zebra was the first hybridized animal in 1815, and Darwin included it in the Origin of Species. At the time, it was believed that breeding would bring forth the finest qualities of both species because domesticated horses are simpler to teach and zebras are less prone to disease than horses. A variety of zebroid hybrids, including Zorses, Zonkies, Zonies, Zedonks, and Zebmule, many of which are utilized as working animals and all of which have varied degrees of distinctive zebra stripes, have been produced as a result of the frequent mating of zebras with equines in the past. All zebra hybrids are commonly referred to as zebroids. Typically, a portmanteau of the names of the father and dam is used to name the various hybrids. The type of zebra that is employed is typically not differentiated. Zebra crossbreeds frequently exhibit some degree of dwarfism. The progeny of separate branches of the horse family, which do not breed naturally, are often infertile. The phenotype of the children is also influenced by the father and dam combo. 3. Zo, from cow wild yak. The Zo is a male yak-cow hybrid that first appeared on the high plateaus of Mongolia and Tibet. Male hybrids are often infertile, while the female variety, also called a Zomo or Zom, is fertile. Because they produce more meat and milk than either cows or yaks, these hybrids are valued for their size and strength. Similar to purebred yaks, Zo and Zomos are used as pack animals by Tibetans, Mongolians, and other tribes in high alpine locations. High-altitude cultures, like those in the Himalayas, rely on animals with the power and physiological traits needed to carry huge burdens for protracted distances across difficult mountain terrain. Animals must thus possess both the agility to traverse challenging mountain terrain and the capacity to breathe the rarefied air found at high altitudes. Due to their cow lineage, Zo are more nimble than purebred yak yet lack the pulmonary problems cattle have at high altitudes. Herders employ Zo and Zomos for more conventional livestock uses in addition to being pack animals. Yaks, cattle, and hybrids all require a similar diet, Thus maintaining big herds is straightforward and enables herders to get the most out of each animal. According to reports, hybrid bovids produce more milk and meat than purebred yaks. In addition to providing food for herders and their families, meat, milk, and skins are also valuable commodities that may be sold to other people. 2. Zebron. From cow European bison, Leopold Walicki invented the ubro in 1847, however the hybrid could have originally existed earlier. Several scientists thought about ubro as a potential substitute for domestic cattle after World War I. Ubro proved to be more resilient and disease-resistant than previously thought. Additionally, the animal may be raised on poor grazing pasture on massive state agricultural fields with little to no infrastructure, SAFs. The Polish Academy of Sciences continued its research on ubro herds beginning in 1958 at a number of labs, most notably in Białowieża and Modzikowo. The animal was created to serve as a tough and affordable substitute for cattle. 1. Geep. From goat sheep, this adorable creature brings to a close our series of hybrid creatures. A geep, or occasionally a shote, is the name given to the sheep-goat crossbreed. While it does occasionally happen in the wild, the resulting children are mostly stillborn. Only 2 living geeps are known to exist, and tragically, due to the structure of their chromosomes, both of them were infertile. Typically, a sheep-goat mating results in stillbirths. Although goats and sheep frequently share pasture, hybrids are extremely uncommon, demonstrating the genetic separation between the 2 species. They should not be confused with sheep-goat chimera, which are made by fusing sheep and goat embryos artificially.